estimations of Bitcoin going to $1 million a coin. I actually believe that it will at some stage.
Because right now, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are building the future of finance, the future of open money.
I think we're going to hit a new all-time high for Bitcoin by June 4th, which is day one of the Miami conference staged by Bitcoin Magazine. They've got the agenda out.
In this video, Max Keiser makes one of the biggest Bitcoin predictions of his career. Max Keiser discusses about the different altcoins available in the crypto space, Elon Musk's continuous support for Dogecoin, and the major reason why he believes Bitcoin will hit all-time high on June 4th. Yes, you've heard it right. Max thinks Bitcoin will cross new record high on the first day of Miami conference, staged by Bitcoin Magazine. Stay tuned till the end of this video to know more about this key Bitcoin prediction and a wonderful Bitcoin analysis made by Max Keiser and Stacy Herbert. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Wealthy Value, the community for people looking to become financially smarter. Make sure to subscribe to our weekly videos where we cover the future of business, innovation, and finance. Also, stick around till the end of this video where I will reveal the latest realistic price prediction for Bitcoin. Now let's enjoy the video.
Well, to continue on this why versus how theme and why, so let's apply that to the altcoins, Ether, Cardano, XRP, and various other altcoins. And the question is, can you apply the same why to any of these other coins? And the answer is no. None of them are decentralized to the extent that Bitcoin is. None of them separate state from money. None of them are any like gold, and none of them are anything like Bitcoin. So there is no why. You're out there floundering. You know, Dave Portnoy, he went, as I predicted. I said this when he first got into Bitcoin. I was one of the very few people on Twitter to say, I predict that within a couple of days, he'll be a shitcoiner. And within a couple of days, he was a shitcoiner. And then he reluctantly kind of meekishly got back into it. And then he went back into shitcoin. Then he got into a hyper shitcoin with some flaky, nonsensical, I forget what it is. There's thousands and thousands of them, but he's trading down to the level of his own degeneracy. He's basically a degenerate. So you get what you deserve. If you buy Bitcoin for 10 years like us, that's what we deserve. If you're Dave Portnoy and you're a degenerate gambleaholic, kind of in denial about your shitcoinery, you get what you deserve.
Cathie Wood, of course, one of the most celebrated fund managers out there. She runs the ARK Investments, series of ETFs, and she was a very early advocate on Wall Street of Bitcoin and Tesla. And she addressed that whole energy FUD because the energy FUD is about China in particular, and she said that's bogus, and in fact our data shows that 50% of mining out of China comes from renewable energy. And of course right now they're shifting into the rainy season in the southern area of China, and they're moving all of the equipment down there in the next week, I guess. So we could possibly see a decline in the hash rate as they take all their miners offline from Inner Mongolia and move down to the south of China, southern China, for the hydroelectric, which of course is renewable.
Yeah, I know. She knows what she's doing. She's a professional. And these guys with the weekends and the lettuce hands, they're just tourists and they don't know what they're doing. So yeah, it's fantastic. She's got her 500,000 price target. That would bring Bitcoin valuation up near similar to where gold is, which I think is an easy call. I think we'll get the $10 trillion easily on Bitcoin market valuation, and then from there, of course, we go much higher.
Yeah, and people are pointing out, of course, markets do what markets do, right? They just move, and there's no real one explanation for anything but mass psychology. A lot of the on-chain data shows that the most volume is coming from new coins, people who just acquired them in the past 6 months, which at that sort of volume, it was mostly things like hedge funds and stuff like that. So there could be a few things. Of course, the taxes were just due on May 17th, so 2 days ago. On top of that, you have tantalizing losses, right? Like hedge funds and Wall Street and corporations love tax losses. Those are like delicious, especially with something like Bitcoin, where it's considered by the IRS as property. So you could sell it and then buy it back a second later. You know, so that is, you don't have to wait 30 days like you would with the stock in order to capture those losses. So, I mean, there's like a whole number of things. A lot of people are blaming Peter McCormick and the town of the city of like the little town of Bedford in England because he provoked Elon Musk to say like he was going to ditch his Bitcoin for Dogecoin. And it's just being reported, by the way, in the comments in the live chat that Portnoy just said that he's just dumped his Dogecoin and he's bought Bitcoin instead.
Right, you get the price you deserve, and you know, this is the thing about Bitcoin. So we've seen this play out at least 15 times over the past 10 years. So Bitcoin, because of the unit bias, and Bitcoin's at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 a coin, people think they're going to get into the next Bitcoin because it's only a penny, or it's only 10 cents, or it's only $1. And so they start to go into the altcoins, into the shitcoins. And then, of course, there's no reason to own those shitcoins because there's no justification for their existence. They're just there to steal your Bitcoin. Then you have a sell-off, as you do in any market, and the shitcoins get obliterated. And people like Dave Portnoy, who went into this without doing any research, without doing any due diligence, unlike Michael Saylor, who spent 10,000 hours of due diligence and is GigaChad as the result of it. Dave Portnoy stumbles in, along with Elon Musk. He's never studied Bitcoin for more than 5 minutes because he never has said anything to indicate he's ever done any due diligence on this whatsoever, which is problematic if you're CEO of a public company that put it on its balance sheet. I mean, that is a whole nother issue to discuss, whether or not that opens up some kind of liability issues. But nevertheless, so Dave Portnoy is now out of Doge into Bitcoin, you know. So this is all the ebb and flow, as you know, we've seen this dozens of times over the years, and we'll see it again. So, but the important thing to remember is that Bitcoin's going to hit a new all-time high by June 4th. It's going to hit my $220,000 target by the end of 2021, and it's headed to parity with gold at the $500,000 range and heading much higher because fiat money sucks, fiat money's collapsing, central banks are collapsing, nation states are collapsing, it's unconfiscatable, it's censorship proof, it's better than gold, it's Bitcoin.
And there you have it, what Max Keiser thinks about Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high. If we look at the technical chart, Bitcoin price tried recovering from last week's severe drop on May 12th. But things took a U-turn as the cryptocurrency market fell off the rails, repeating the disaster last seen in March 2020. As BTC finds its footing, several on-chain developments suggest a consolidation could follow a swift upswing, while others indicate another sell-off. Bitcoin bulls focus on seeking stability above $40,000 to avoid another downswing back to $30,500. Bitcoin price is pivotal at $40,000, whereby bulls lack the momentum to extend the gains to $50,000 and barricade the downside, eliminating all bearish threats. The 40% recovery from the support at $30,500 fizzled out at $43,000, marking the most formidable technical resistance. Meanwhile, the flagship cryptocurrency trades slightly above $40,000 amid a persistent push by the bulls to break above the descending parallel channel's upper boundary. With support at $40,000 secured, the bulls' focus is bound to shift to breaking barriers at $43,000 and $47,000. According to the moving average convergence-divergence, BTC is in the bulls' hands. The massive bullish signal comes after the blue line crossed above the signal line. It is worth mentioning that a move such as this implies that traders should consider holding or increasing their stakes. Therefore, the least resistance path is upward, at least for the short term. On the other hand, the relative strength index has started leveling marginally above 40, and after stalling short of the midline. This shows that buying pressure is not strong enough to sustain the uptrend, but formidable support exists, keeping Bitcoin afloat. And that brings us to the end of today's video. What are your thoughts about the Bitcoin price movement? Tell us in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.